Good morning, everyone. Let's see you as soon as we are online. There we go. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Public Works for today, Monday, March 6, 2017.
Commissioners Repenning, James, Davis, Jacinto, and Rivas are present. We have a quorum. May we start with Bureau introductions, starting with the Bureau of Street Services.
Tim Tyson, Bureau of Street Services.
Brad Jensen, Bureau of Engineering.
Chris Smith, Bureau of Contract Administration.
Good morning, Ruben Flamenco, Bureau of Street Lighting.
Miguel Cermeno, Bureau of Sanitation.
Good morning, Ted Jordan, Public Works General Counsel.
Good morning, Raul Mendoza, Assistant Executive Officer. Mr. President, we do not have any speaker cards on public comment. We do not have any cards under the Neighborhood Council commentary, and no speaker cards on any of the items for today's agenda.
Okay, then we'll close general public comment as well as the Neighborhood Council category of commentary. Agenda item number 4 is a stop notice from VTP Incorporated. They've transmitted a stop notice in the amount of $21,498.70 for furnishing labor and material for floor covering installation in connection with the LAPD Police Academy Replacement Training Facility Project. The contractor is Kemp Brothers Construction. Is there a second to my motion that we receive agenda item number 4 forthwith by Commissioner Jacinto and Davis? Any objection? Without objection, we will do so. Agenda item number 3, a stop notice. Robertson's has transmitted a stop notice in the amount of $2,392.01 for furnishing ready-mix concrete, rock, and/or sand materials in connection with the emergency sewer repair project at 2514 Plata Street. The contractor is Valverde Construction Incorporated. I didn't know that Robertson sold concrete mix. But that said, is there a second to our motion to my motion to receive agenda item number 3 forthwith by Commissioner Jacinto? Any objection? Without objection, we will adopt agenda item number 3 forthwith. Agenda item number 2, a stop notice from the Specialty Contracting Company doing business as Diversified Demolition. Specialty Contracting Company, DBA Diversified Demolition Company, has transmitted a stop notice in the amount of $251,210.20 for labor and materials furnished in connection with the Hyperion Wastewater Treatment Plant Digester Gas Utilization Project. The contractor is Constellation New Energy Incorporated. Is there a second to my motion that we receive agenda item number 2 forthwith by Commissioner Davis? Any objection? Without objection, we will receive that forthwith. Agenda item number 1, the Office of Accounting and the Bureau of Sanitation are requesting board approval and execution of an authority for expenditure in the amount of $2,874. The new adjusted amount is $21,711 to pay for the annual renewal fee for the Environmental Monitoring Division Environmental Laboratories Accreditation Program Certificates. Anybody here from the Bureau of Sanitation on agenda item number 1? No one's here for the Bureau of Sanitation, although this is a $2,800 request. As the AFE says in our package, this is an annual renewal fee that this division does pay. Any questions on agenda item number 1 before we yes, Commissioner?
I'm still a little confused. You say it's 2,800, but then it says 21,000. Is right. That the? So the. Or is that what they're asking?
No, they're asking for the $2,800. There are times when they come in for with the adjusted total is an amount that is spent over a period of time, and if we want to find out more about that period of time, we can continue this over.
But for today, it's 2,800 that's yes. being requested. Yes. Okay, I was just confused.
Anybody from sanitation that wants to, Commissioner Repenning?
I can just talk briefly based on my briefing. The Environmental Monitoring Division, I'm just reading from this, they provide analytical services to Terminal Island, and it looks like the State Water Board certifies the EMD's lab, and so the payment of the fee is a requirement for the lab certification. So, obviously the EMD provides services for a lot of the department's functions, but this specifically is a fee related to the certification in relation to the work they do at Terminal Island.
And the last time they came through, it was a request for $10,000, and that took their total up to $18,000. What I would recommend that we do, see, letters of notification, our lab
So,
certification.
Commissioner,
Yes.
just in flipping through the packet that you have, it appears that they are doing these separate fees for the various treatment plants we have. So if what I believe to be the case is the 21,000 is reflecting the sort of running total, but this one that you have in front of you is for Terminal Island. Previous
Well, this
documents.
looks like a running total just for Terminal Island, though, to me.
Okay, well, I was going to say in the packet I see there's Hyperion has one here, as well as L.A., Glendale, and Donald C. Tillman. While the board can certainly continue it if it wants, oftentimes these fees are fairly time sensitive, so I wouldn't do it any more than
I don't have a
couple of
problem
days.
with approving this for $2,800 because of the low amount and the explanation here on the ELAP certification renewal fee notice from the California Water Board. They're telling us that this letter is notification that your laboratory cert expires on 6/30/2017, and your certificate renewal fee is $2,874. Your application and payment are due before 4/1/2017. So why don't we can approve this and not send it forthwith, and that gives us enough time. The deadline is April 1, 2017, according to this letter. Ted, anything?
No, that'll essentially have the same, or nearly the same effect of continuing it till Wednesday, but if you approve it not forthwith, it will be final on Wednesday, but then...
Well, and the person who was unable to make it today could send an email
Exactly.
To us, and if there is an issue that they could send an email to Commissioner Rivas and to Commissioner Repenning, and if there's an issue that would warrant our reconsideration on Wednesday, then we can reconsider it on Wednesday.
Yeah.
But if there's no issue there, then it'll automatically be final on Wednesday.
And if something were to come up and for any reason the board were not able to meet on Wednesday, it would be automatically final just by operation of the forthwith rule, so...
I mean, I was just questioning what we were authorizing today, because I saw two amounts, so I wasn't sure if it was 2,800 or 21,000. I mean, I think 2,800 is fine. I mean, I see that it's the fees that they're charging, and what the 21,000 then is the running total so far, like this fiscal year, probably? Or?
Yeah, so Commissioner, just for clarification on the agenda, the 2,800 amount was put on there because that's the amount you're approving. The only reason the other amount was put on there was because the board approves it, AFEs, when it's over 20,000. So typically, if we only put the 2,800, it would say, why would it even come to the board? So the total running amount was just to clarify why it has to come to the board, even though it's only 2,800 for the new amount.
Yeah, because I thought 2,800 was low for it to be at the board, so I see. That makes sense to me. Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah,
we're okay
I'm
with
fine.
going forward on this? Okay, great. Then I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 1, seconded by Commissioner Davis. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 1. Any issue sending it forthwith? We'll go ahead and send it forthwith. It is a low amount. Although, well, that'll be it on agenda item number 1. Agenda item number 5 is our quarterly oral report on city trees for the Bureau of Street Services. Mr. Tyson?
President James, Commissioners, City Attorney, Bureau Representatives, and Executive Officer. Good morning. in the last few months, which has been the winter months of the year, I did 4 months, which I consider the winter months for our productivity, just to give you a kind of an idea. This is non-emergency work that we accomplished during those 4 months, which would be November, December, January, and February. 1,495 trees were trimmed. Those would be trees that would be blocking stop signs, those kind of things. 502 stumps were removed. 416 trees were removed. And 85 trees were planted. That's in between the storm work, which we were hit pretty good this year. Well over 5,966 storm-related service requests were answered. 219 beehives, 3,570 street tree inspections were performed. The on-demand tree trimming has spent, we estimate right around $680,000 of the $1 million has been expended so far. And with that, we have removed 18 stumps, 45 trees were removed, and 5,014 trees were trimmed. Now that's all Saturday and Sunday work on the on-demand funding. And then for the discretionary, we have 2 discretionary funds, one with the Council District 3 and one with Council District 5. And we're slowly working at one. Council District 3 has right around $100,000, so we've been working whenever we can. Emergencies are first, that kind of thing. But we've done 105 trees trimmed, 222 stumps, and 171 trees were removed with the Council District 3 discretionary funding. And so far with the Council District 5 discretionary funding, we have removed 11 stumps, which was 1 day's work. To give you an idea, that crew costs an estimated $1,044 for the day. So it's $140 per stump, average cost. And then this is the part I like the most, which we've been working diligently at trying to hire all of our positions that are available so that we can build the division back up in urban forestry. 2 years ago, we had 85 personnel. Currently, we have 112. That's almost 30 employees have been hired. And right now, I'm really happy to say that the Supervisor 1 exam just came out for advertisement for applications. It's open. And I need 11 to 12 Supervisor 1s. And once those Supervisor 1s are hired, they will come out of the tree surgeon pool, and then I will have 12 or 13 more tree surgeon positions that are open. But as of right now, we have tree surgeon assistant interviews. They're going to be held on March 8th and 9th, and we're going to hire 10. We have 1 admin clerk position open in the urban forestry division, and they're going to do interviews on the 16th of this month. The tree surgeon supervisor 2, I have 3 positions. I'm saving 1 for a leverage point of maybe getting a swap on a clerical position down the road. But we're going to hire 2 supervisor 2s to complete the 2s that I need. And that interviews are going to start on March 20th. The tree surgeon performance test is still continuing. We do it every 3 months. We run another group of people through so we can continue adding to the current list that we are going to certify and hire from as well. Water and Power and Rec and Parks have already been hiring from the list. We need a couple of heavy-duty truck operators, and that's pending the administrative test. We need a couple more equipment operators, and that's opened up for applications to be accepted right now. We need 5 gardener caretakers. The CAO's office approved 3. So we're going to be looking into getting those going as well. And we also promoted 8 tree surgeon supervisor 1s to emergency appointment positions while we're waiting for this test to be given for the supervisor 1, which all of them will have to take the test, civil service test, and get on a list, and then have to go through interviews again. But in the meantime, they're getting training. I'm going to go into this technology devices that we have now. I didn't want to promote them into these positions until we had the devices to give them to go out and do inspections with. But this has really changed things for us as far as our response times, and I know I've said this over and over, but we're going from 40 Samsung tablets to about 55, and that's incredible. This has facilitated emergency tree crews to respond to requests for tree-related emergencies quicker and more efficiently than in the past. The tablets have allowed the tree crews' response times to requested work to be submitted in real time. This has produced data that has identified that Urban Forestry Division tree crews are responding to and completing emergency tree-related requests in 3 days or less. More than 50% of these requests being completed in 1 day, completely completed. When it's a large tree that comes down or something that takes a larger crew, then we push it off into the parking lane or over into the city right-of-way on the side, and we barricade and secure the location until a crew can come back and pick it up at a later date, because we only have 2 large crews. With the contracts, there's approximately 700,000 trees in our public right-of-ways. 6 of the 9, 15, 16 tree trimming contracts have been completed, and the remainder of contracts expected to be completed within the next 1 to 2 months, which will trim approximately 33,850 trees. 9, 16, 17 contracts are expected to be executed within the next 30 days with approximately 26,516 trees to be trimmed. For the past 2 years, city budget only allocated $4.5 million for the tree trimming, with approximately 700,000 trees in the city right-of-way. The current budget will allow each tree to be trimmed approximately once every 26 years. Landscape maintenance. There's approximately 10.5 million square feet of maintained by city contract forces of median islands and city right-of-ways. Recently, contractor left his obligation and walked off the job. The current landscape maintenance contracts are being scheduled to be terminated soon, and 4 new contracts are targeted for advertisement for bids within the next 15 days. Bureau of Street Services is working diligently toward and execute the new contracts as soon as possible. Bureau of Street Services is working diligently to prepare new contracts for bid and awarding as soon as possible. The Bureau of Street Services has reached out to other city departments and has secured the services of an interim contractor to provide service on several locations along major corridors until the new contracts can be awarded. Sidewalk program. The sidewalk repair program for the Bureau of Street Services Urban Forestry Division is currently working on the following bid packages. Bid package 18 consists of 22 locations. 1 location in bid package number 18. Location number 681 is the 68 and 6900 block of Lindley Avenue, and it's pending all trees on the block to be removed. And this is where we want to look at new avenues of thought, reversing the parkway. If all the sidewalk has to come out, we want to put the sidewalk over to the curb, and we want to reverse the parkway, therefore giving the trees a substantially more amount of room for growth in the future and lessen the severity of the risk of the damage to the infrastructure or therefore around it. And we're hoping that everybody can get on board with these kind of new ideas. Bid package 20 consists of 32 locations, 1 site pending UFD tree work. Location 1061 pending board approval, 7 trees will need to be removed at this location. Bid package 23 consists of 31 locations, 8 of which is pending tree work, and the other 8 are pending board approval, which I'll come to the board for these other ones at a later date. The Bureau of Engineering summary: contractors have removed 42 trees, and they have replanted a total of 84 24-inch box-sized trees. Of the 84, 59 trees were planted on site and 26 trees were planted off site. The Bureau of Street Services has removed 79 trees. There are 146 tree replacements pending. Of the 146 trees, 75 on-site trees pending and 71 off-site trees are pending. The sidewalk rebate request was launched December 1st, 2016. Bureau of Street Services currently has 43 requests being inspected by UFD. 14 permits have been issued for tree removals. Access request assessments performed by Bureau of Street Services Special Projects Division and Urban Forestry Division are a total of 103 locations. And with that, that concludes my report, and if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer any.
So, a couple of things, Tim. One, just not really a question, but a comment. Thank you to the Bureau of Street Services and to the Urban Forestry Division for the hard work that they have done and you all have collectively done together in connection with storm response and tree emergencies and tree-related emergencies. We know that that was a big part of the first, well, really the last 3 months. I would say the first 3 months this quarter, but we're not through this quarter yet. But we started really at late November. So it has been a quarter when you include December, January, and February. So that has been noticed by folks, and it is, you guys have done a great job on storm response. I know that you referenced this in your report, but could you just give me the 30-second elevator response when a council member is going to say, what about getting our median work on board again? What's the 30-second response you give on because we know those questions are going to come because we need the median work done and we know what's happened with potential litigation with the existing contractor.
Yes, sir. Had a conversation about it this morning. We're almost to the next fiscal year as far as if we go to try to re-advertise the last year's, by the time it's all set up, it'll be July.
Can we roll that money over to the next?
That I don't know, but what we're going to do is piggyback on,
We beg to see
we're piggybacking on the Rec and Parks. We're already bringing them on board, their contractor, and some of that money will be utilized for what all they can do for us.
Great. Okay, so that's kind of the quick answer.
Right, so that way we can get a contractor on board right away, get the most important medians to all the council districts' offices, which we ask them what their most important mediums are, like their top 4, and then we're going to be doing that, as well as utilizing our own people to pick up some of the medians and stuff like that on the weekends.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Rapani. Okay. Commissioner Jacinto?
Thank you, President James. Tim, great report. We had a great quarter, responsive. The storm, took a lot of the staff time, so please send our thanks and appreciation to UFD and everybody at Street Services. I had a question regarding that one site on package 18. That's the reverse parkway, you said?
Right. I've been in conversations with Mr. Lorenzen on this. This is an opportunity where all these trees on this street are liquid amber, styricofolia trees, and they all have different stages of the xylella disease. So the trees need to be removed because they're not sustainable to keep as far as doing the sidewalks and everything. So if we're going to completely remove all the trees on the entire block, you take the sidewalk and you move it over to the curb, and then you put the trees behind the sidewalk, and that creates a reverse parkway. And then the trees actually have the entire front yards of the homeowners to grow back that way, and only part of it to damage the sidewalk later down the road someday, which takes a lot longer because you could put root barriers in on the one side and slow that down.
So it's closer to the homes and therefore shields them and creates that
so the tree looks, yes, so the tree actually looks like it's right in front of the house instead of, on this side in between the sidewalk and curb, which can damage the curb and the sidewalk. If you place it behind it, then the chance of the curb ever being impacted is almost zero.
And Tim, is this elective on our behalf of the city? Or how did we determine that we wanted to do this one block?
This is an opportunity where they're taking every tree out. So it's almost like a brand new development where you would have all brand new trees being planted. And we can grow much larger trees this way and have, big deodorus cedar trees. You can plant larger trees and get the canopy cover that we need to cool the city.
Excellent. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Commissioner Jacinto. Commissioner Repenning.
I just wanted to say that I'm encouraged by the building back of urban forestry. As you know, I think it's really important that we have the resources to properly manage our urban canopy. And we all know that we're not quite there yet,
No.
but making progress is a good thing. So thanks for all you're doing in that regard.
And just to add on to what I had indicated a few moments ago, Tim, in addition to the storm response, something else that was very helpful was the reporting back. In essence, it's a type of open data in the sense that your bureaus and divisions reporting of storm response almost on a daily basis was excellent, because it's really helpful to us when we're getting into Elena Stern in our public affairs office, when we're getting a lot of inquiries from the press, and in the mayor's office and various council offices, we're able to give them almost real-time data on the response to the storms. So while I know that information may not have been put on an open data portal right away, it was put in our email boxes right away, and put on the open data portal as soon as it was available. But that still is a form of transparency that is beneficial to everyone. So thank you. Commissioner Davis?
Yeah, I wanted to thank you for your report, and I wanted to also echo my support and my satisfaction that we are able to add to our staffing those individuals. And I think in many other areas we need to look at that. Even though we're contracting out, it is important for us to have a team that will be able to hit the ground running and cover us when we need to have that done. And often we don't have that flexibility when we are contracting out, because it deals with the scope of work, and sometimes we would have to add to the scope of work if we ask them to do some additional thing. So I think that over time, financially, it covers us, and it's a much more cheaper, and it's certainly a much more effective way in which we should operate. So I thank you very much for that, and I'm extremely pleased to know that we've been able to achieve that.
Well, thank you, commissioners. I really appreciate that. I'll let all my staff know. I just want to say one more thing, that as we're all speaking about the hiring and the technology devices and the fact that we're still moving forward and hiring more because we still have these positions available, which I'm really trying to...
Well, and that's still just to get us, we're still not where we were.
Right, no,
I don't want
what
our
I'm...
message to be that we've gone beyond that. We're still trying
No,
to rebuild.
we're way far away. But what I'm saying is with the additional hiring that we will be doing right now, that'll also help our emergency response times get lower and all these different things that we're trying to work at for the community to make it a better place to live. So it's all about having enough people to make that happen. So we're getting close, but we're far from 250. And I also want to thank the board for signing the resolution that we are now a Tree City USA again after 3 years of not being one. So,
Yeah, congratulations, by the way. That was nice to see.
well, it's because everyone here signed the resolution and they're all supportive of us being that.
So anything else for Mr. Tyson? All right, we'll talk to you at the next report. I know we'll see you before that, Tim.
Okay.
Good to see you. Thank you, sir. The oral report will be received. And finally, is there a second to my motion that we approve the meeting minutes from the meeting of Wednesday, February 15th, 2017 by Commissioner Repenning? Any objection? Without objection, those meeting minutes will be approved. Mr. Mendoza, have we cleared the desk?
Yes, you have.
All right, then we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Happy Monday.